The Nicholls State University Department of Art hosted its student exhibitions from March 13th to March 23rd. These exhibitions featured student art in 3 categories: studio art, digital art, and art history.
This is one of 2 exhibitions, group exhibitions that's just for students.
The exhibitions also included an awards reception on March 22nd. A first place prize and merit awards were given in each category, while an overall Best in Show and Student Choice Award were given out regardless of category. The rigorous process of acceptance into the exhibition truly brings out a feeling of accomplishment in the students, as this year a little over 100 entries were chosen out of the 320 plus. As part of the students' undergraduate research, they are able to use the exhibition on their resumes. This helps them to move forward after gaining their undergraduate's degree.
It gives recognition to us. It's something we could, put on our resumes. Even if you don't win an award, just getting in is a big deal because the public is seeing it.
All of our seniors who are doing their capstone project have a show.
The showcase is not only important to students, but to the art program and Nicholls State as a whole.
It's also important because our accrediting agency requires that we have opportunities for our students to exhibit their work.
Reporting for the Red and Gray Network, this is Brogan Burns.
KNSU radio station kicks off with their weekly music segment with Matthew O'Brien, station manager, covering his favorite album from Charlie Puth's. Let's see what he has to say.
Hi, I'm Matthew, and I'm the station manager at KNSU Radio. So today we're going to be talking about Charlie Puth's latest album, Charlie. It was released in October of last year. Charlie Puth is one of my favorite artists because he has one of the best voices, I think, in the music industry. If you don't know already, he has perfect pitch. So literally, if you hit a mug or you hit a bell or whatever, anything that makes sound, he can tell you what note it is. And it's pretty impressive. He's a great songwriter, one of the best songwriters in the business, too. So this album was special because this was his most personal album. And also, too, he even admitted that his previous music wasn't that good. So, he's been friends with Elton John. Elton John lives down the street or whatever. And obviously, he appeared on Elton John's last album, too, did a song. So Elton John told him to his face, you're too talented. Your music's not that good. You need to do better. And so Charlie knew that already, but he needed someone to tell him that, for it to sink in. So this album definitely was, back to basics. And I love this album. There's not many songs on this album that I don't like. My favorite one is probably Charlie Be Quiet, which is the second song off the album. And what I love about it is that he plays with volume. So obviously in the beginning he goes Charlie Be Quiet and all that, and it's very soft. But then when he does the chorus again, it just the bass kicks in and everything. So I love how it plays with volume. And he has a lot of songs. So he was doing a lot of TikTok things with this album too. So he would take a light switch and flick it, and he would incorporate that into the song. So for Light Switch, that sound is in there, and I love that song too. It's a great chorus and a great music video too. Left and Right is probably the most famous one off this album. That's the one he did with Jungkook from BTS. And I'm not a big fan of BTS and K-pop. That's not my thing. But this song is really good, and I like Jungkook in this song too. His voice is really good. It matches with Charlie Puth, so it's a great music video as well. And it's definitely the biggest song off the album and the most catchiest. Like I said, the only 2 songs that I'm not fans of are When You're Sad, I'm Sad, and Marks on My Neck. I don't like those 2 that much. When You're Sad, I'm Sad is kind of like his ballad, I guess. It's very slow, and there's not a lot of movement in my opinion on the song, so I don't like it as much. And Marks on My Neck, it just didn't hit for me. But the other ones I absolutely love. And what I love about this album too, I feel like songs nowadays are too long. If your song's 4+ minutes, that's fine, as long as it doesn't feel like I'm wasting time with it. And that's why I'm not big on listening to full albums, because sometimes it takes you over an hour to listen to an album. This album is 12 songs and it takes 30 minutes to listen to. The longest song on here is 3 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. The other songs are about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, so it's short and quick and to the point, and they're all catchy. And I absolutely love it. So if I had to rate this album, it's a solid 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It's a really good album and some good music videos, and I'm excited to see what Charlie does next. This has been the weekly music segment. I'm Matthew, and we'll catch you next week.
The Nicholls Choir is preparing for a big international trip, and they have some fundraisers that you need to know about. Here's Rodrigo Rivera with the story.
The Nicholls State University Chamber Choir is heading to Ireland this summer, and preparations are in full swing. I sat down with Dr. John St. Marie, the choir director, to discuss what this trip means to the choir.
I've always had a goal of taking one of the groups here at Nicholls to an international tour. We get to see more culture, and we'll be able to see the landscape and the beauty of the country. We get to do 3 concerts. We have one in Dublin, that's our big concert at St. Patrick's Cathedral. We'll get to see lots of the sights. You know, Ireland's a very interesting place, and it's important musically. It's, I think, something prestigious for our university, and certainly for our program, which I'm really proud of.
However, before they can pack their bags and hop on a plane, they need to raise some funds. That's why the choir has organized multiple fundraisers to help them achieve their goal.
So the Nicholls Choir is doing 3 fundraisers this semester to help us get to Ireland. Our first fundraiser is World's Finest Chocolate, so members of choir will be walking around campus with boxes of chocolate for students to buy. The second fundraiser is our Double Good Popcorn fundraiser. That is completely online. The students will be posting their individual pop-up shops for people to order the popcorn. And then we'll also be doing a bake sale in the Union on April 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All proceeds will go directly towards the choir's trip to Ireland, allowing them to share their beautiful harmonies and dedication to music with the people of Ireland.
This is a supplemented fundraising effort to help the students pay. So the students each paid about 1/3 of the cost of the trip, and so we're trying to raise the rest and kind of give them some relief.
The Nicholls Choir is known for their passion for music and their commitment to excellence. So, if you want to be a part of this exciting adventure and support the choir, be sure to check out their fundraisers.
And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great program.
Reporting for Nicholls News, I'm Rodrigo Rivera.
This week's Q&A covers students' majors. Delaney Ligori covers the campus answers.
What's your major and why?
I am a mass comm, and I chose mass comm because I think I'm really good at talking in front of people. I'm not even joking. That's the only reason why.
My major is finance because I flipped a coin.
Journalism, because I think that people should know what's going on, and I want to be the one to tell them.
My major is creative writing English, because writing is one of the only things that I am good at, and I'm hoping to improve at it.
I'm biology pre-med. Can I say that I don't have a reason why? I don't really have a reason why right now.
Oh, my major is mass comm because of Criminal Minds, from JJ on Criminal Minds.
I'm an art major because I like art.
Political science because I plan on going to law degree later. It all started from my jury duty because that just really opened my eye. Before I was thinking about engineering, but it really didn't fit with me. So now I choose for law and justice.
What's your major?
My major is culinary because I love to make people happy with food.
My major is biochemistry just because I like science.
My major is journalism because I think everything has a story that has to be told.
My major is nursing because I've loved having direct hands-on care for patients and the people.
My major is music education, and I do it because engineering's kind of hard.
I'm bio pre-pharmacy because biomedical engineering hurt my soul a little too much.
I am in interdisciplinary studies. I was previously a music performance major, but it was a lot, so I changed it to that. And so far, I like it. And the reason why I changed it because I actually want to go back to school to get a degree in business. So what I'm going to do is graduate with my associates, then go to school to for makeup, and then get my makeup license, and then come back to school for a business degree.
My major is psychology and I have a minor in biology. I chose this major because I do want to help people, but I love learning about the brain and behavior, and the intersection of psychology and biology, which is neuroscience, is super interesting to me.
My major is computer information systems, and the Y is money.
Secondary education. I want to teach and help the future generation, and I want to coach football.
3D animation, and I want to make TV shows and video games.
I chose psychology because I love learning about human behavior. I love learning about why humans do what we do, and I actually want to reduce or help the destigmatize mental health and medication for mental illnesses. And if you go to therapy, you're not crazy. Like, I want to help educate people about that.
My major is mass comm with a concentration in public relations. I love it because it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people, you get to be creative.
I am a history major. I was criminal justice, but I feel that I would be a lot more comfortable in history. And honestly, I love the culture, you know, like the culture, the lifestyle, and of like all these different societies that we've never really learned about until now. And I think that college is really good with that. In fact, there's a medieval history class I'm probably going to take next semester. Really excited for that. Because like, everybody talks about medieval people, like not literally taking baths, but they did, you know? It's something to learn in class, you know?
After this, the RTDNA Show will be back with more national news.
Well, yes, sir. We'll get right on that. I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right, bye. I'm going to need you to pull the 2 coordinates for the DOQQ. TLU Communication needs to build a new tower to fill a gap in their cell coverage, and they're going to need a clear line of sight between that tower and their antenna.
I'm downloading the DTM for a cross-section view.
We're going to have to get that hill ground truth to find out what's there.
There's a field crew in that vicinity. I can make the call.
Okay, what do you need? We have a mature pine plantation about 60 feet tall.
There's a clear line of sight at 175 feet and above. That's how tall they'll need to build.
All right, looks good. Print it off. All right, here's the information on the hill we were looking at. It seems perfect for your new tower.
We'll start construction immediately. Thanks for getting us so quickly. In the past, we'd have to wait weeks.
Well, you gotta love modern geomatics.
More like geo magic. We need boundary and topographic survey.
TikTok is facing an existential threat as the CEO, Shou Chow, is grilled in Congress and questioned about the video app security and ownership by Chinese buy tendency. Legislators expressing serious concerns and saying that they have to find the best way to deal with the app already in the hands of millions of monthly users in the United States. Mike Valero has more details.
There are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform.
TikTok CEO facing U.S. lawmakers for the first time on Capitol Hill in a heated hearing.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. TikTok has repeatedly chosen the path for more control, more surveillance, and more manipulation. Your platform should be banned.
U.S. lawmakers repeating calls for the ban of the video app based on national security concerns about the app's ability to collect data from its users. But TikTok CEO maintains the app doesn't collect any more data than other social media companies.
We will firewall protected U.S. data from unwanted foreign access.
CEO Shou Chu fighting back, attempting to reassure Congress his company has taken action to resolve fears the Chinese government could gain access to TikTok user data.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
But in the eyes of some experts, an all-out TikTok ban is unlikely.
This app has millions of users. Right, so free speech and all of these other considerations come into play, and that's why I think we're far less likely to get a full ban and more likely to see some kind of potentially middle ground restriction.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Famed composer Ludwig van Beethoven saved locks of his hair so future scientists could study his ailments. And now, nearly 200 years after his death, they have done just that and have gotten some surprising results. Shed light on his health problems. The composer famously had progressive hearing loss as well as gastrointestinal problems. Unfortunately, scientists were unable to find a definitive cause for those ailments, but they did discover a number of genetic risk factors for liver disease. The samples also showed evidence of hepatitis B. They say those factors, along with heavy alcohol consumption, likely contributed to his death at age 56. The DNA samples also revealed a family secret. After comparing them to living relatives in Belgium, researchers discovered the Y chromosome did not match. That suggested an affair on Beethoven's father's side at some point that resulted in a child. The research was published on Wednesday in the journal Current Biology. Morgan Freeman, Florence Pugh, and Mally Shannon star in a new drama from writer-director Zach Braff. Rick Dominguez reports.
For the model train enthusiast, we lord over a world where the neighbors are always kind.
2 families are affected by a tragic accident and drug addiction in A Good Person.
In life, of course, nothing is nearly as neat and tidy.
The drama is the latest film from writer-director Zach Braff.
It's really about how they go on to try and stand back up again after their grief. So it's about friendship, it's about love. There's a lot of drama in it, as you can imagine, but there's also a lot of humor in it.
I got one of those audio books on how to talk to a teen.
How's that working out?
I am so not going to talk about sex with my grandfather.
Really? Because I just love this. I'm in way over my head.
The film marks the second time Braff has directed Morgan Freeman.
We already had a relationship and a friendship, and I knew for this part I was really going to have to push him into a very dark character and make him go to a place as an actor he hasn't gone to in a while.
I need help. I know.
Braff praises Florence Pugh's performance as a young woman spiraling into drug addiction.
It's not the bunny slope, you know. It's double black diamond acting. It's very, very hard to do and very hard to do raw, and also honor the people who suffer from addiction. Particularly in this era, I wanted to talk about the opioid crisis. It felt like a very American tale in 2023 to talk about, especially after the pandemic, how many people became addicted to different things to cope with the global trauma of that.
I want to go.
No, you've made it this far, and I wouldn't.
I don't want to be here.
Nobody does in the beginning.
I don't want to be anywhere.
Then you are definitely in the right spot.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Fans of 2 fantasy adventure movies praised for their special effects have a lot to look forward to. David Daniel had details in today's Hollywood Minute.
It is time. The crownless again shall be king.
Become who you are born to be.
The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King is returning to theaters for a 20th anniversary celebration. Fathom Events and Warner Brothers are showing the Oscar-winning film at U.S. cinemas on April 13th and 19th and Canadian theaters on April 20th. Check fathomevents.com for theater locations and tickets.
No doubt you've heard of our trouble at home.
A dragon, fire and stench. It is evil. Pure and simple.
You want me to do battle with that?
1981's Dragon Slayer was Oscar nominated for its visual effects, but director Matthew Robbins says cheap home video copies hurt the film's reputation.
The damage had been done back then in the early 80s when it was manufactured by some indifferent person on an assembly line or whatever. So anyway, I have been unable to watch the movie in all these years because it was too painful.
Now the cult classic is back on disc in 4K Ultra High Definition with a new commentary by Robbins and his frequent collaborator, Guillermo del Toro. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The city of Las Vegas is welcoming Taylor Swift and her fans in style of her shows this weekend. The city will display a Swift-inspired light show at the Gateway Arches every night through Saturday. Swift takes the stage at Allegiant Stadium Friday and Saturday, and the second stop of her Eras tour. She kicked off the tour in Glendale, Arizona recently. The 27-day tour continues through the spring and summer, wrapping up in Los Angeles in August. A mother says that she's concerned for her children after a buffalo showed up on her property, not once, but twice, and no, she doesn't live in Montana or Wyoming. Her home is in Georgia, about an hour outside of Atlanta. Candace McCowan reports the bison are pets of her celebrity neighbors.
It's a beautiful morning, ain't it?
Rapper Rick Ross posted this video on his Instagram on his property Tuesday with his horse and buffalo on his more than 350 acres. But those same buffalo took a walk last week to the neighborhood next door and ended up in Antoinette Barnes' yard.
I have an 8-year-old and I have a 10-year-old, and my children are afraid to go outside.
There are still imprints near where Antoinette's children play after the buffalo were spotted twice last week. Antoinette called the sheriff's office and even tried to talk to her celebrity rapper and entrepreneur neighbor, Rick Ross, but only spoke with the staff.
I'm over here as a concerned mother. So why would you, Control your buffalo, control your bull. That's all I'm saying.
The Fayette County Sheriff's Office posted to their Facebook page and said they received the reports about the buffalo, saying while it's legal to own livestock like cattle, sheep, horses, goats in Fayette County, the owner is responsible for properly restraining the animals. If the owner is shown to be negligent, they could be charged. As for the buffalo, Antoinette said someone came and wrangled them up last week. Video from News Drone 2 shows them back on Ross's property, as seen on the rapper's Instagram.
So my buffaloes, they just really wanted to see the other side with that live life.
But Antoinette is concerned about other Instagram posts from Ross alluding to the fact that lions might be next to move on to the property.
If he's a real boss, then at that point, control your animal and supervise your staff. That's it.
A popular music festival in Chicago will have some major musical acts as a part of its lineup for this year. Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Lana Del Rey are slated to headline Lollapalooza 2023. The music festival announced its headliner Tuesday. Promoters also shared that for the first time a K-pop act will headline the festival. The performance of Tomorrow X Tomorrow will be a milestone for the event. In all, over 170 bands are set to grace 9 different stages in Chicago's Grand Park during the festival. Lollapalooza is slated to run from August 3rd to August 6th. That's it for the RTDNA Show. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Trinice, and we'll see you next week.
Well, yes, sir. We'll get right on that. I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right, bye. I'm going to need you to pull the 2 coordinates for the DOQQ. TLU Communication needs to build a new tower to fill a gap in their cell coverage, and they're going to need a clear line of sight between that tower and their antenna.
I'm downloading the DTM for a cross-section view.
We're going to have to get that hill ground truth to find out what's there.
There's a field cleanup acidity. I can make the call.
Okay, what do you need? We have a mature pine plantation about 60 feet tall.
There's a clear line of sight at 175 feet and above. That's how tall they'll need to build.
All right, looks good. Print it off. All right, here's the information on the hill we were looking at. It seems perfect for your new tower.
We'll start construction immediately. Thanks for getting this so quickly. In the past, we'd have to wait weeks.
You gotta love modern geomatics.
More like geo magic.